Juan Vides. I'm the founder of Winning on Wednesday. And the purpose of Winning Wednesday is to simply get to know each other. I always say people do business who they know, like, and trust. We meet every Wednesday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And again, the purpose is to get to know each other. And like I said, people do business who they know, like, and trust. No one like it and trusting, I'd like to introduce my friend, Pat Pinto. Pat Pinto, how are you, Pat?
Juan, thank you for having me today. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good, good. So, can you tell us a little quickly about yourself? Give us the old elevator pitch, as they say.
My name is Patrick Pinto. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer over at BeeSeen Solutions. We are a full level digital marketing company. We handle all different varieties of services. We have expanded our services into a BPO side of things, an LPO side of things. We do lead generation now. We have clearly website, social media, SEO, your standard meat and potatoes in the digital marketing side. But we have a nice array of services. We do information technology as well. We're a full umbrella company.
Excellent. We're gonna go more into that later. But now, tell us the most important. Where did it all begin? Tell us where were you born, and tell us your history.
I was born in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, New York. And back in 1982, my dad decided to give us a better life out on Long Island. And we moved out on June 28th. And on the morning of June 29th, I was hit by a car. I wasn't even in Long Island 24 hours. I was hit by a car. I was rushed to the hospital. They gave me a 3% chance of living. I was then moved from one hospital to another. I wound up getting out to Stony Brook Hospital, where I went into a natural coma. I was in a coma for 14 days.
Mhm.
Spent almost a month after that in the hospital recovering. And to this day, it left the whole left side of my face totally paralyzed.
Oh
So
my goodness. How old were you again?
I was 12 going on 13.
Oh my goodness. That's such a and at such a young age to go through such a tragedy. Like
Yeah,
that
you're the
loss of
new kid
life.
on the block, and now you're in the hospital for a month.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, not amazing, but that you were able to overcome that, and that you're here. Thank God you're here with us, and you're fully recovered. But wow,
God had a reason for me. I'm still trying to figure it out, but God had a reason for me.
wow. And tell us about. I mean, growing up, did you have any like inspirations or anything like that? Did you want to become or anything that any like
Growing
role
up
model?
in an Italian American family, okay, we're very tight knit. We're very bonded. We're very close. We share everything within each other. And my mom, my brother, my father, myself, we had an inseparable bond. And I wanted to model after my dad. I saw how he was, and I thought he was the greatest person to walk the earth.
Wow. So your dad was your role model, would you say?
I had two role models. My dad was my role model, and my brother Peter is my role model.
Tell us about why. I mean, can you tell us, yeah.
Well, my dad always, through the thickest of thick and the thinnest of thins, he always had a positive approach, and he always had a very calming effect. And my dad, our dad, had a heart attack back in 1996, and he was wounded. He was weak, and my brother stepped up, and my brother was the rock of the family, and my brother was the confidence, and my brother was the one that uh, we leaned on. He was the one that literally got us through the toughest of times.
Wow. Oh, that's amazing. Wow, that's powerful. And just out of curiosity, what does your father do for a living?
My father owned multiple companies. He owned management companies. So they were large size companies, and we didn't know what was going to happen with them. And Peter was able to keep everything together for us. And obviously we built confidence through Peter, and Dad got better, and Dad, took the helm again. But at the end of the day, it was my role model is my brother Peter, my younger brother Peter.
Wow, that's amazing. He's a great guy, by the way. I know Peter, so shout out to Peters.
Shout out to Peter. He's a
Shout out
good
to
guy.
Peter. He's a good guy. Yeah. And what did you go to school for, by the way? What was your degree in?
I went to two colleges. I went to Quinnipiac College initially, and then I transferred over to Dowling College. And I wanted my dad always told us that he wanted us to be as well-rounded as possible. So I actually, my major was a Bachelor of Arts, and I minored in psychology. And I thought it was great because I got a flavoring of everything all at once.
Wow. So take us where about your first job that you had, and take us that journey to what you're doing now.
Well, we had my dad owned a management firm, and I loved going on sales calls with my dad. I loved the way he was warm and ingratiating and opened up conversation, and his clients fell in love with him. His clients trusted in him. His clients, my father said, we're going to do it this way, and they drank the Kool-Aid and walked into the light. They're like, okay, no problem. And I wanted to be that. When I graduated from college, I went in to emulate my dad and be a salesman and learn how to build trust and confidence and friendship through business.
And and that took you to what you're doing now. So
Well, what took us to that was our dad. Our dad had obviously become, his heart wasn't, he had a heart attack, and his heart through the years wasn't doing well, and my father had passed, and the companies were gotten rid of and sold, and at that point I went into marketing. A gentleman I knew asked me to come in and kind of be the chief marketing officer of a marketing company and see what if we could do. And I loved the concept because when you love selling, you could sell anything if you believe in what you're selling. And if you can show your clients that you have a passion for what you're selling, they will trust in you and buy your product or use your service. And I just love that concept. Years go by after working in the firm for 4 or 5 years and growing the company to a substantial size. Um, my current partners now decided they wanted to open up a marketing company. The company I was working with was being sold anyway, and they wanted to open up a marketing company and asked me to come aboard and partner with them and work with them and sell for BeeSeen Solutions.
yeah, and that's a. I mean, I know you guys personally, but and that's a wonderful story, but because you guys all knew each other, and it was kind of cool because
Yeah.
talk because the whole thing, and I always say this: people do business who they know, like, and trust, right? So the fact that you guys knew each other ahead of time always helps out. So, and so knowing and doing business with people, it's always good to do that, right?
There is nothing more comforting at night than knowing that the partners that you have, they are with you in the trenches and they're with you at the ticker tape parade. They will celebrate with you and they'll fight to the death with you. And that's the good part about it is the four of us together, the four partners together are thicker than thick. We're side by side with everything. There are disagreements, of course. Everyone's got different opinions. There are different factors of how people look at things. That's the nature of the beast. But at the end of the day, we all come together for the better of two things: the better of the client and the better of the company.
Beautiful, and it's four different minds coming all together. Four great minds, coming all together, and
Yeah, listen, I couldn't ask for a better team. I really couldn't.
right, and one of them is your brother, Peter. Going back to
My
Peter.
role model, yes.
It should be the whole Peter interview. It's sponsored by Peter, right? I I'm just joking.
Look, I
But
give I give Peter the credit for multiple reasons. I've watched someone that has been, and I think of the movie Rocky. When Rocky got hit and he wasn't going to get up, and he was struggling to fighting to get up because he knew there was more in him. And at the end he saw that prize. And I look at my brother Peter because many times through business, he's been knocked down more times than you could imagine. But he finds a way to get up and he finds a way to punch through it and he finds a way to bring success out of it. And he drives that success through the rest of us in the firm.
amazing, amazing. Yeah, and talk about brothers. I gotta do a shout out to my brother too. Mauricio Rita is out there, so he's my younger brother, and yeah,
Sure.
I'm proud of him too. Now he's gonna become a dad now, so he's just to see him to go through that. It's amazing, and I'm always proud of my
Sure.
brothers. They're proud of the family. So, yeah, that's thank you so much for sharing that. That's wonderful, by the way. And at this time, I like to give the golden nugget moment. Like the golden nugget moment is where you'd like to leave something behind, something to better their career or be a better person, or something that you learned from your experience. Any piece of knowledge or wisdom that you can share with us, Pat?
I, I'm a unique person. I like to say that, and I'm unique in how I was brought up because people don't understand other people when they go to they I watch people walk into a meeting and then all they want to do is sell something. All they want to do is promote their product. They don't want to get to know the person that they're talking to. They don't want to understand the common ground. Maybe they went to the same school. Maybe they live in the same neighborhood. Maybe they like the same sports team. Maybe they watch the same television show. Whatever it may be, you want to find a common ground so that the walls of resistance sort of drop little by little when people feel that you're all on the same playing field. I mean, silly example. Years ago, my brother had walked into an office, and he happened to say to somebody, the gentleman behind him had a picture of Bruce Springsteen, and Bruce Springsteen had a saxophone player, Clarence Clemens, that was in the picture. And my brother happened to say to the gentleman, he said, my brother's friends with Clarence Clemens. And that changed the whole complexion of the conversation. The man wanted to know more about how I was friends with him than about anything else. And when my brother went to talk business with him, he said, oh, no, that's already taken care of. Well, I like you guys. We're going forward. So that common ground became a very, very important factor. Many, many years later, when we had an office, one of the offices we had, in my office, I had what we called the Wall of Fame. And it was pictures that I had taken with every celebrity, sports player, politician, and a client or a potential client would come into my office and they would see this and they would resonate with one of those pictures. And the conversation turned into not when are we doing business, but how did you meet this person? Or how do you know this person? Or how did this? And every picture had a story, every picture had an ending to it. But that ending trailed back to, sure, why, how can I not work with you? You met this one, you know this one, and it always formed a common bond. So the leave behind is you always want to leave a common bond with somebody. And like the name of our company that I credit to one of our partners, okay, because he came up with it, Nicholas, the idea is be seen. You always want to be seen. And my motto behind it is it's always good to be seen. So at the end of the day, if my our marketing company can do any of the services that we offer, which are vast in what we do, please give us an opportunity because we will help you be seen.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, it's wonderful, and to your point, you bring value. That's what it comes down to, a lot of value. So,
Yeah.
absolutely, thank you so much for that. And any other networking or communities, organizations, or spheres of influence that you belong to?
Well, we actually just recently sponsored, I'm sorry, we co-sponsored the cocktail hour for the Women in Construction event in Manhattan, the gala in Manhattan. And it was just very nice to interact with everyone there and meet everyone there. And we're involved in many organizations, we're involved in many charities, we're involved in many different structures of what we do. This was just one of them that we attended, and it really was a nice time because the event was beautiful, the connections were amazing, and it's in the world that we live in today, it's still important to shake the hand and press the flesh and look in the eyes and smile with somebody.
I can't agree with you more, especially now after COVID and all that stuff.
Oh
So
God, yeah.
yeah,
God,
we
yeah.
definitely need that. And I was at that event, Gustavinos and Jaseni Bell and Yasmin Tirado. That was amazing people. So they was a wonderful event, great event. So shout out to
Yes.
those
Everyone and
ladies. Those
everybody was there. Everyone
yeah,
and everyone who was there. It was a nice, well put together event.
yeah. And actually, I don't know if you know George Wentworth. He was on my show. He was in the last show. He
Actually
actually
know George well.
yeah,
Actually,
so
did
he
some work together.
he's there. Okay, wow, small world. It's such a small world. So
Yes.
wow. So he was on my podcast show recently. So shout out to him too. So see, it's a small world, like you said. It's networking, it's who you know, and all that. So Wow, it's amazing. So, we're almost at the end of our interview here, our podcast. So I leave the best for last. We're gonna
Uh-oh.
be we're gonna be talking about Be Seen. We're gonna talk about your services, and I know you spoke about that briefly in the beginning, but I really now that everybody gets to know you now, and I feel that we're gonna talk about the services of Be Seen. So, give me
Well,
some stories about Be Seen.
when BeeSeen was created, as I said, over 10 years ago now, we were doing the traditional meat and potato services, building websites, doing search engine optimization, doing social media, and then we wanted to make the services that we offer more unique, or as I like to call them, more sexy. So we built call tracking into the SEO. So now we can validate the services that we provide. We built in review management. So now clients can get, the right reviews done for their company or their product or their service. And then we opened up the doors and we created a lead generation campaign, which has been what I just absolutely love because it brings clients to clients that are interested in speaking. I credit Peter for always expanding the services inside the company, looking past the headlights on the car and thinking what's in front of us. We have a BPO side, business process outsourcing side, which has been phenomenal. It really has. When you look at companies today and you look at the work that's being done internally inside an office, and you can take that work for a third or half of what you're paying that staff to do, and you can outsource it, and the company in today's economic times is still able to make more money and get a better sometimes quality of the review of that work. It goes without question. So we have the BPO side, we have the legal processing side, the LPO side, we have the information security side. In today's world, everyone lives on a computer. All this data that sits somewhere on a server needs to be secured. It needs to be not, as we always worry about people hacking in and corrupting all our data. We have the information security side now that does an analysis to make sure that you're protected and covered the way you should be. All the information security that's out there, people don't realize how accessible it is and how it should be protected. So we've got that side of the fence as well. We've really expanded BeeSeen. As I like to say, the umbrella of what we do continues to get bigger and bigger. And I will close with this because our dad always taught us this. As a company, we are large enough to serve and we are small enough to care.
That's beautiful, man. That's wonderful. Wow, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Pat, for sharing your story. And what's the best way that people could reach you, or the best contact?
I put our website down below. You can look us up on LinkedIn. You can give me a call at the office, 631-777-8811. Our office is in Huntington. We have a video production arm that's located in Manhattan on 32nd between 5th and Madison. So we have a a nice expansion in our locations, but you can always reach me, and if I can't get to you, we'll have a Zoom call like this and we'll talk.
Excellent, wonderful. Thank you so much for coming to the show. And if you want to be a guest for Winning on Wednesday, just go to our website, winningonwednesday.com, and sign up as a first time guest. We'll see you next time. Thanks again, Pat.
Thank you, Juan.